So yesterday, what we have learned yesterday.
Are doing, what the brokers are doing.
Let me check. What we have learned yesterday?
Today we work on attributes and create a form.
Second order component. Okay, list. And we have worked on.
List.
Okay. Let's discuss about the Lightning data service. Just like let's create a new. So as you can see that while working on the Salesforce, means from yesterday and day before yesterday, we have learned that whenever we have to make a insert update or insert an update inside the Salesforce, we have to use Apex controller for that. And so we have to use the Apex controller in order to make the ML. But Salesforce also provide a way without using an Apex controller, we can do update and insert an update. Both we can do without using the Apex controller, and that is done by Lightning Data Service. Okay, Lightning Data Service is we can say that is a thing that in which we declare a form on the Aura component that will either update or insert a new record inside the Salesforce without using an any Apex controller and handle everything that can be means that can we have done on the Aura component. Everything we can handle, but there is no need to write any single piece of Apex code while working while using the Lightning data service. So let's have a look at how it's working. Mm, let's create a new component. Okay, now it's created. Now let's have a look at how we are working with the Lightning data service. For that, we need to go to the Lightning component library. And then in the component library, we have a term called record. Yeah, in the Aura section, you can see that record edit form, record view form, and record form and record view form. Record edit form is used to edit any record. Okay, is used to edit means make a update on the record. Record form is to insert a record. Okay, if you want to insert any record inside the Salesforce, then we can use the record form. And then we have a record view form. Record form view form, just the name suggests, it is used to view the records. So usually what we have to that we just use the record view for edit form, view form, and what we can say that edit form, view form, and record form. Means usually we just directly use the record form to do all those things, because record form have both features. Means it has also edit form features and it has also a view form feature. So we use the record form directly in for doing the both things. Okay, so first have a look at how we are working with the record forms. So for that, let's copy paste that here. Here is the record. first work on the record form. Okay, and you just have to lightning record form, and this is the few attributes that is it has. First is record ID, to specify which record we need to show. Then we have a object API that is specify that object API name. Suppose I need to display the contact, then it will be contacts, account, then it will be account, and if any custom object, then it will be custom object, lead opportunity, anything. Then we have a layout type. It's a compact, and there's 2 or 3 more layout type available up here. You can see here layout type, compact and full. Sorry, 2, compact and full, and for only for view I have a compact layout, and for creating a new records it's only few layout is supported, full layout is supported. And then we have a columns, then how many columns we need to display the record. And then we have a mode is read only, edit, this the 2 3 type of mode available. You can see up here, uh, view, edit, and read only. There are 3 mode available up here, which shows that view record, read only mode record, and edit mode. So for working with this, since we need a record ID for that, so let's copy a record ID from here. Okay, let's copy a record ID, paste the record ID, and here write the contact, just save it. Okay, and now I'm going to use this contact in our application. Where is my application, so that I can view? Okay, it shows the details. First, few details over up here. Let's and if you make it full, let's make it full, or just copy and here write the I think it's full F capital. Hmm. It's showing all the fields, and it's showing few fields only, compact fields. Means few fields means this one means compact one is this one: title, account name, phone, email, and contact owner. Title, account, phone, email, and what's mobile, but can contact means it's coming up from here, and this is full layout. And since we make it read only, so let's, if you increase the column, suppose I just make the column as 2, save. Now it comes in a 2 columns. You can see up here, and let's make it more changes. Suppose instead of doing that, I use the edit. It's in you can see it's in editable mode. Yeah, and it's editable. You can see there is a update and sorry, save button also available up here. You can see that up here. Hmm. All the things are available up here. You can see this, it is in available mode and it's showing up here. And any changes that I will make, it's gone updated. And if I hit save, it's got updated over there. Okay, it's got updated, and when you click on it and here, it's in editable mode. So it's just easily to switch between what we can say that view mode and editable mode. And the last one is the read mode, edit mode, and one more mode is that read only mode or view mode. View mode is the same, that's approximately same. So you just have to copy and paste. Then we have a save. The same, but in the difference is that read only mode, that in the read only mode we can't see that there is an edit option available up here. Means we can't edit the record in the read only mode. Okay, this is the read only mode. We can't edit the record in the read only mode, but in the view mode, means in the view mode we have an option that we can edit a record. Means we can just click on here and we can edit a record. So it's based on the its use is totally based when what we need to do, means what we need to do up here, what's the requirement. It's on the basis of that we choose the record edit form, and it's what we can say that, and it's way, means, or we can say that read only. Yeah, on the basis of requirement, we just have to choose the parameters, and it will do whatever it needs to be done. Okay. So the thing is that while working with the record view form, there is a one limitation. If you can see, I don't know, means I can able to see or no. Can anyone tell me that there is a one limitation while working with this record form? No, it's okay.
Record level permission.
No. Actually, it's totally follows that thing. Our custom design will not follow, but this will follow all the permissions and all those things. If the field is not visible to user, it is not available up here. It will not show in this record form, record edit form, record view form. It will not show.
What about parent object?
Hmm?
Parent relationship. If you edit, it's gonna allow you if there's a parent records.
It is yeah, it is
Title it.
available. We can use it. Means parent record. Parent record is also not available in the in order to edit the form.
Delete maybe.
Hmm?
Delete that record. Deleting record.
We can't delete a record from here. But it's not a yeah, you can say that it's a limitation, but it's not a thing that means it's okay. It's not it is not available, but yeah, it's, you are correct, it's a limitation over up here. that we can't delete a record? So and one more thing, there is no means we can't customize the fields. Means it's all according to the layout. That's the thing. We can't customize the fields. Means whatever the fields present on the layout, we can, that are only available up here. You can see, means according to the layout, which is present on the layout. The layer in the way the fields present in the layout, it's showing in the same way here. So that's a kind of a limitation over up here, that we can't customize those fields according to ourselves. Means I suppose I want to phone to be here and this one to be here. That is not possible in this. That is not a, we can't customize that thing. And the customization is up to that we can control the uh, fields that we can show. So for that we have to declare the fields name, and there must be some here. It is to use that which field we need to display, which fields that we have to display up here. So let's create an attribute for that. It's an array of fields. We just declare an array in which we provided the field names, what we need to display. So let's have a name, email, phone, and I want to display these fields. Let's comment it out. Okay, and in that, there is an option called fields, I think. Where is that fields? Now it will show only those fields which I mentioned up here. It's showing all of them. I mentioned the fields. We need to remove the layout type from here. Okay. Now we can control one more thing, that what's the number of fields we can show up here. Okay. So for that we have to remove this layout thing. If we remove the layout thing, then we can control the fields what we can display up here. And one more thing that it's provided, means when we click on edit, you can see, okay, we can click on edit, and we have a save and cancel button. You can see that whenever we click on edit, we have a save and cancel button. So whenever we click on edit, and then that we can also handle. Suppose suppose on the save, we want to say that once the recorded save, I want to say that alert that he recorded saved successfully. So we have a method for on we have a method called on success. Here specifications. Yeah. Yeah, on cancel means whenever we click on the cancel button, on error if while saving, if you got any exception, on load whenever the form get loaded, on submit whenever we hit the submit button, means whenever we hit the save button, and on the last we have on success, which says that whenever we hit the whenever the hit the save and record gets saved into the system, and then it's come back from there. So it's that thing. So let's design some methods so it will make you clear. C dot handle Okay, I declared few methods. Let's declare few that declares the same actions. Handle error, handle onload, handle submit, and then handle success. Okay, we are doing some consoles. Cancelled. Got error. Onload. I save. I just added some few buttons over there. Now let's have refresh this and then do inspect. So you can see that as the record is loaded, onload is called. Okay. Then we have a thing that whenever we make it edit, so the view mode is changes, but so since view mode is changes to edit mode, so again onload is called because record is loaded again. So again onload is called. If I hit cancel, cancel is called, and when cancel changes the mode to edit to view, yeah, it changes in mode from edit to view, again onload is called. And then we suppose I click on save, then submit and success will call. First submit and then success, and then again onload is called. So it's a what we can say that it's a life cycle. We can say that it's a life cycle of this record view form, then which will call when the mode changes. Means when the mode changes, onload it will call, and when we hit the submit, when we hit the save button, sorry, when we hit the save button, then first submit will call, then success will call, then again onload will get called. You can see the onload get called twice because it's two things are happening at the same time. Just like that, if suppose I clear and hit the save, submit, submit, then success, then onload. Got called because at whenever it's got success, it's still on the editable mode, and then it's this mode changed to review mode. That's why it's to onload is calling. So that's the issue. Sorry, that's the reason. That is the main life cycle of that record edit form. How it's working means how it's behaving. So it's have a onload means whenever the record is loaded, and when we hit the submit or whenever we hit the save, then once we can hit on the save, on submit mode is called. So on submit is used to suppose let's so on submit usually used to check this any validations, or suppose I need to add some value before submitting that form. So for that we use the on submit. And on success, when we record got saved, and we want to capture that ID of that record, and so message to a user that hey, we record got saved. So for that we use the on success mode. Okay, so let's you check that the application of these two modes, on submit and on success. So for that, let's no success, I need submit. Yeah, submit. Okay, then we have first thing is event.prevent prevent default, which is stop the form to submit it. It's before making a submit, stop that form, it's not going to be submitted. And then we capture the fields. Okay, we capture the fields, whatever the fields we are sending. Okay, we capture all the fields, and if you want to make changes in any of the fields, we just do that changes. And then once the change is completed, we just submit that again, submit that form. And in order to submit that form, we use the my record view form, which is the same the ID of that form. I think we haven't added the ID. Let's add the ID, so that on the basis of that it will, yeah, I added the ID. So my edit form, and then we submit the form. So this is the way with how why we using the on handle submit. So whenever we click on the submit, if we have to first stop that form to get submitted. So we will use that event.prevent default, and this code, this piece of a code used at not it's only to submit the record. Suppose on the button, when user click on that button, I don't want to prefer I don't want to whenever suppose I don't want to, whenever the user click on that button, some action that I don't want to perform. So at that moment, I can also use that event.prevent default. So at that time, that it will not do after what it's need to be do. So it will not submit the form, and then it will perform this. And after that, we just submit the form once we make changes inside the fields. So let's have a look. Since last name, okay. And I hit save. Now once I hit the save, we can see that the here the last name got changed to my custom last name. And if I come up here, we can see that the last name got changed to my custom last name. So that is the thing that suppose before submitting the form, if we want to make changes in the field, that we can do up here. And thereafter, after getting the success, then handle success is used to get the record ID of that whichever the field gets success record saved. So let's have a look. Means usually we use the handle success whenever we have to creating a new, whenever we are creating a new record. At that time, we use the handle success. Hmm? Whenever we are creating a new record, at that time we use the handle success, means to get the ID of that record. Apart from that, we don't use the handle success to get that ID of that record which is going saved, because ID is already present up here. You can see ID is already present up here. So why we are getting, why we have to, means that's the thing. But still you have to know that how we get the ID from the saved record of the saved record. So here event.param.id, this is the event uh, which will give you the record ID of that thing. So let's log the record ID. You can see you can get the record ID as a response. So this is the way, means this is a few examples that how we handle the transaction on the form load. And let's, here we are just review the things that we have reviewed the things that we are able to no, update the record. Suppose we need to insert the record, what we have to do, we just don't need to pass the record ID. Whenever we don't pass the record ID, the record, instead of updating that record, it will do the insert of that record. So let's have a look. Let's create an attribute for that. Instead of passing hard coded, let's make it dynamic. I'm just passing a default value, and I will pass this contact ID up here. So if I click on here, it will do the same thing. No issue in that. Okay. So now instead of passing an ID, I just remove that ID and save it. So now there will be no record ID, no record ID passing up here. Let's have a look at what it shows. So it will show the record in no values are present in the up here. So let's click on that, add a few values. And hit the save. So it got saved. You can see the records get created. It's a new record. The new record get created up here, and we can view that. This is the created my custom last name. It is due to that fact that we added something here. Let's comment this line. Okay. So this is the way that we use the record form for each and every places. When suppose we want to add that suppose I want to add new fields, sorry, suppose I want to create a new records or edited records, that two things we can do with the record form. And we have a few more tags available up here: record edit form and record view form. You can see that it is a means it is more precise requirement. Recorded view form, it's only to view that form, and parameters are still same, but it has some provide more flex, more feasibility over up, that we can choose that which field we have to display. Yeah. Okay. That we can also do up here. Means we just pass the API name here. We can see that we can also do up here. Means I don't see any why we are using means uh, record view form. Means I don't see that is there is any special requirement that I have found that in that requirement I need to use only. It's not possible with the record form. Each everything is possible with the recorder form. I don't see that why it's important. Means why they have created a specially record view form and record edit form. I don't know, but yeah. You can use that record edit form and record view form in something like that. So the one only one thing is that available up here. We can say that suppose when we are working with the when we are working with this record form, we can't control the buttons. Means we can't control the buttons. We just control the parameters that we can pass, but we can't control the button. Suppose here we can control this edit and cancel button. It should be always be available up here. It should not, we can't change the name of this button. So that thing we can say that it's a limitation. We can't customize those two buttons. Means we didn't have any flexibility to do that thing. So that's, we can say that yeah, it's a kind of a limitation over up here, that we can customize this thing. But apart from that, we can customize the fields. Means just about the declaration. Suppose I declare the field, this field after this one, so it will just change the position. Yeah, you can see the position got changed, so it's no issue. The only thing is that might be that is the why they have decided to means we have an ability to use the record view form or record edit form. Both are the same, only that name is changing. So let's use the record edit form. In the record edit form, everything it's a customizable. Means we need to add manually everything. Here we just have to add the field names and it will display, but here it is we don't have any option. We need to add this input field and output field over up here to see the values. So let's do that and copy this account ID to, sorry, contact ID to here, and it show. Then we have a lightning messages. Lightning messages is a thing that whenever we got an error, such suppose we have got a validation error, so that validation error shown up here. Means any kind of error. Suppose I got the exception while working on that, while working in the while working on the form, we got an exception. So any kind of error will be shown up here in the lightning messages. Lightning messages capture those error. Then we have an output field. Output field is means that suppose we need to display the information, then we use the output field, and input field is used to capture the information. Okay, and you all know that there is a lightning button, and once lightning button is to use to show the buttons, and its type must be submit, so that it will submit this recorded form. And then we have a label, and means label and this thing, you know that. So let's have a look at how it's working. So let's first comment it out. And instead of let's pass an ID first, then we think about different. I will pass the ID and I refresh it. Okay, you can see that whatever the field present up here means input form, output form, and the button, it's showing up here. So we can control that in the record edit form. We can control the which fields we need to display, and which will be in editable mode, which will be in not editable mode. That I think we can also use that we can control up here. But it's use means if you can if we have a requirement, such kind of requirement, then we have to go for the record edit form. Else we it's okay to use the record form. Record form has all the flexibility, all the functionality over up here. And this is the same this can be same thing once on submit, on success, on load. It is also available up here. Since can just use it directly. This is also same belongs to the, this is not going to be same. On error is also belongs to, on cancel is not belongs because there is no cancel button. Let me check it's on error, I think. On error, load, submit, success. On cancel is not available up here. So, okay. So, let's have a look. And I hit the update. Submit undefined. Might be it's due to fact that I override the submit thing. Yeah, that's why. Let's make it record edit form. REF. Aura ID. I think I passed the Aura ID. Let's pass the Aura ID. Before that, let's first submit as it is. Thereafter, we can do changes. Let's first submit as it is. Let's remove all those things. Yeah, we get on submit, then on load, and then showing the record ID is undefined because it's capturing the record ID is quite different in this. So success, it's got record get updated. That's the thing. Let's capture the record ID on the recorded form, and here it is on success. Recorded it form success on success, recorded it form. Okay, as you can see, every code is present up here. Means there is no need to worry about the code. The code is present. You just have to copy, paste, and just use the code. Hit the save. You can unable to action REF. So what up? Unable to find action. Oh, I haven't saved this. Sorry. Let's save it. Again, not undefined, and now I need to check it. Let's see that what comes up in this. I think I should be capital because I think I should be capital. No, it's small. Okay, it should present response then dot id. It is not dot directly. So updated record dot response dot id. Might be that documentation is not updated. It's an old documentation. Okay. I hit the save and I got the record ID. Okay, so this is the way that how we get the record ID on handle success. We can handle the success. We can handle the success of that thing and do whatever we want to do. Okay. Suppose so we can do the same thing with just on the summit. If we want to make changes, then we can do the changes over up here. It's a quite same that as we are doing up here, and so it's quite same that event.prevent default. Then we capture the fields and then make the changes on the fields and then update that and then submit the field. We can do that directly from here. The same thing. Okay. And it provides some more functionality that we can reset that all those components. Okay, let's work on the reset. But I don't think it's will. Okay, cancel and handle reset. For each of our define might be its component issue. That's correct. Field. And so it should be field, should be fields. We can reset only those at those fields whose aura ID is field. So it's on the basis of that it's working. Yeah, can see any changes that we have made. We can do a cancel means reset. Okay, we can do the reset over up here. So it's a kind of thing that we can do the reset or cancel. We can say that. The point is that here is that the aura ID. The aura ID is an important thing that on the basis means on the basis of aura ID we can find any component. So what we can get that we just use the component.find and pass that aura ID of that component. Aura ID of that component. So what will we do that if we have a more than one component having the same ID, then it will return that written as a list of as a list of as a list of that component. So what is that we just find that component, it returns a list and then run the loop over that list for each. It will pass and f.reset means component.reset is a method. It's an inbuilt method of this input field. It just reset that value to its initial value, means whatever the changes I have made, it just reset that value to its initial value. So the here is the only important thing is that this one, the field one, field means aura ID. Aura ID is an important thing. Means how we find that for finding that whenever we have we need to find for finding this, we just use the because the aura ID has the property that if we have a more than one fields, more than one components having same ID, then if we are trying to find that component, if we try to find that component, then it will return an array of result. So we just do the loop on that and do the or reset of that field. So that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the that's the thing that available in the LDS. That's a few things that are available in the LDS. Okay, so any questions? Hello, or you guys slept? Hello.
We are here. No
Oh
question.
yeah, here.
Okay, I thought that you guys slept. Okay, then if you don't have a question, then let's have a break and come back after the.
Whenever you are sleepy, we get sleepy, you know. We get effect from your energy.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a quite simple. Means LDS is a quite simple that I just have to copy and paste and use that thing, nothing else. Okay, let's have a break. Come back after the break. Okay, sorry, I was talking on the mute. Hello, hello everyone.
Yeah, I thought you was continuously swinging
Hello,
like you was.
Hello, it's me and you. We are
Okay.
here, Suraj.
The thing is that yeah. What is that? Now let's have a look at that LDS. Means what we have just learned. Means you learn that LDS, that thing, how LDS is working. Now we are going to implement that LDS in our previous example that we have worked earlier. That how in this example we'll use that LDS and we will use that LDS in order to view, in order to perform the activities. Means if you use that LDS, then we don't need to use this one that we have just coded earlier, that we have declared that selected contacts and all those things. Means we have put some logic over there, which put logic to get the put the selected contacts. Where is that? Yeah. Okay. Means yeah, we have just put this logic to get the selected contacts, and then that pass that selected contact to what that kind of logic. Means we pass the selected contact, and then uh, we use these things and design the models, everything we have done that. So in order to just don't means in order to just let's have a look. Means we can do it this way. This is also not a, means it is not a we can't say that it's not a good way, but just have a look at that. We can also do that thing in this way too. So that's the thing. So let's let's make it I just added one more button called view, and let's create a method for that view. And in the controller I just added one more here, view button. I'm not going to add currently, I'm not going to add anything there. I just added the button. What's the error? Functions are allowed. Okay, it's 2 colons. Okay, so I added one more button over up here. Let's do a preview. So a second order component, I'm going to preview that second order component. Okay, let's copy. Now I can see there is a 3 buttons. Now it's showing me 3 buttons: view, edit, and delete. So whenever I click on that view button, it will pop up and show me the full detail view of that fields. So what I will do that I will just come up here and let's create one more array, or we can say that one more model. Edit mode, view mode. Let's make it view mode, and view contact. And here instead of that thing, let's put it here. We don't need the save button. Let's remove the save button. We just need only cancel button. So handle view model cancel, click, and here we just use our what we have just learned, that where is third order component and where is the view form? Here is the view form. No, I don't want to all the fields. I copy this form from here and paste it here. Yeah, let's remove the field. Instead of fields, I just use the layout, so that all the means I can see the full detail. So instead of fields, I will just put the layout, and mode is view, cancels view, and view is cancelled, and then handle submit success, and just leave it. Means that's okay. And let's copy these methods from here too. So handle submit, handle success, handle load, handle all this method I'm just copying from here and coming up here in our controller, and pasting that thing, pasted that thing. I added that mode and this contact ID. Instead of now, it's not be a contact ID, it should be a selected. What will be the selected record? That ID will be up here. And whenever I click on that view button, I just make it true so that it will be visible here. And let's remove this buttons. We will handle from here. So I just created a model. In that model, you can see I just created. Now we have two models over up here. One is a edit model, and one is view model. In edit mode, you will see, you had already know that when we click on that edit mode, that 4 fields are available. I'm just add a one more functionality over that view functionality. In that view functionality, when we user click on the view button, it will see all those four fields available up here, all the full view of that, and it will show up in a model, and that model is that's model. And for showing the record, we have to just pass the selected contact ID. So I just pass the selected contact ID, and everything will remain same. So let's have a look. Now I need to, for before passing, whenever we click on handle view click, I need to view the view, and then I need to also show the, also make that the record is selected. So that's why. So I capture the current record ID, and once we capture the current record ID, we need to pass that current record ID to up here. So let's make it a variable that says current record ID. Selected contact and type will be string. Selected contact ID. Let's use that selected contact ID up here, and just add value component.set dot selected contact ID, and it should be a record ID. And once we get, we enable the so once we get the contact selected contact ID, we assign that contact, means whatever be the current selected contact ID, we assign that, and then we enable the view mode. So let's refresh. And hit. That's not working. Let's again refresh. Might be. Let's also do a log. It's not working. Let's check that why it's not working. On the view, we have a mode called handle view click. On handle view click, on the handle view click, we capture the current record ID. Let's see it's capturing or not. Console.log, and in that I will just log, I'm just going to log that record ID. Record ID is showing. Okay, that is correct. And now view mode enable. I think I haven't declared a variable for view mode. That's why. Yeah, okay, that's the issue. Let's declare a variable. We use the variable but haven't declared that. So I just declare a variable. It's declared. Let's refresh. Yeah. Now it shows all the contact, and it shows the contact in the view mode. And if I click up here, it's showing that it comes in the editable mode. User can edit that record too. User can edit the records, and he can save that. Suppose and save it. It got saved. Okay, now what we can do that. Now, as you can see that whenever I click on this edit button, yeah, click on edit button, it's onload action is called. same thing and save it, again submit it, and then onload is called twice and it's done. So it's working at the same. Now what I had to do that whenever user click on this cancel button, it should close this pop-up. Yeah. Okay. Right now it's not doing anything. So what I do that whenever I click on that cancel button, I need to close that pop-up. So I will use the property of handle cancel, and that in handle cancel, I will just what I will do that I will just make this to false. All the records get updated and it's get false. Now the thing is that I'm not able to close that from view mode to I'm not able to close. So I think for that I need to add a cancel button over up here. So let's add a cancel button. Along with this, let's add a cancel button. So we can add a cancel button, something like that. Yeah, you can leave that at just add a cancel. So for that we have a button. We have two things, either we use this button or just use the lightning buttons. We have a lightning button. Why I'm using this one? Sorry, button. Lightning button with the icon, button icon, because I need to use the icons. So let's show which type of icon. I will use this type of icon. Okay, icon name variant, on click, alternative text, title, close, and utility, close. And let's put a class so that I'll just remove this thing. Let's first take a look at it, then we make changes. How it looks like. Showing up here but not showing at the end. Handle clicking should be closing that, so let's make it handle cancel, so it will also cancel, do the same thing as the cancel is doing. Now I just to move that button to the right hand, so for that we have to use our basic CSS property. No, align items. No, it's not behaving. Let's check if it is work or no. Else we will use this that our basic thing. Yeah, it's showing up here. Okay. When I click here, it's cut closed. And if I person do the edit, I can do the edit from here. Let's also add the inverse class so that that will got inversed. That is for the color. Means while you means once you are start working on it, you will know that how to handle the situation. Means actually I just worked on, means I had worked on that. That's why I just know that how to handle this thing, these kind of things. But once you are started working on that, you will see that you can see and since it is a button, so I can also adjust its size. I think there is must be some parameter because the cross button size is too small. Let's check that. Yeah, size, we have a size attribute. Let's see, and in that size attribute I will paste large. Okay, large, there is a large. Okay, let's put a size equal to L capital is or small, L is small. Okay, that's good. Let's refresh. No, it looks good right now. So in this way we can what happened? Yeah, in this way we can do that things, and we can use the LDS in our codes, in our whatever we are trying to do that. So we can use the LDS in our system, means while working on that, just like that, and use the property of that LDS, just like here we can use the property of the LDS to control the other thing, just like I use the property of a cancel button of that property of a cancel button to close the modular, just like that. And we have also do one more thing. Whenever I hit the save, I need to close that. But what is happening? Unable to find handle success. Yeah, it's present handle success, but it's not unable to find. Oh, handle submit twice. Okay, so once got success, I need to close that model too. So let's also close this thing. But in the but you can see that most of the time I using the copy and paste. So that's put it, means while working on your here on the LWC, means UI part, just focus on the doing copy paste, not just do the hard code, just do the smart work. Okay, and hit the save. It got saved, but I can see that the record is not refreshed over up here. Means I make changes, and I hit the save, but the changes are not reflected here. So you know that why it's not reflected, because we need to refresh that records, and for refresh we created a method called get contacts. I need to call after submit. Okay, success. Whenever it's got success, it will refresh that thing. And let's also update the phone number is one. Save it. Get there. Records get updated. So that's also help. Since everything first you have to just build every small functions, and I mean, just like that I use the build a small function, and I use at so many places. So that's why we are using the helper. Means you design one time and use at so many places. It's working fine. So we just use the small functions, just do the copy paste, and just whatever we just need to achieve, we get achieve that. Okay, in this way we are working with the LDS in our example. Suppose I need to also make this thing instead of since it is showing in the model, suppose I want to show that should be available in a, means since here when I click on a view, it shows in a view mode. Suppose I click on edit, it should be show this form in editable mode. So what we can do that we just change the mode. Just simple as that. We change the mode. Here mode is, where is the mode? Here mode is edit, we need to change it. Here mode is view, we need to change its edit. It will show in editable mode. So for that, let make mode to be dynamic, because currently mode is static, so we need to make mode dynamic. So let's create an aura attribute for that. Rel mode, record edit from ref mode, and by default it is in view, and I think V is capital. Yeah. No, small. Come up here, V dot ref mode. So it's now it's become dynamic. Now in the controller, once user click on edit, yeah, once user click on edit mode enabled, so instead of just commenting that out, means it will open our previous model. So instead of doing that, what I can do that I will just do the same thing what I'm doing up here, and then what I will do that I will just set this ref mode to be edit. So I will click on the editable mode. It's opening the records in editable mode. You can see, but you can see that whenever we implement the new functionality, we have to also check the previous is working is fine. So you can see there is a view is showing. So that is not good. So instead of that, we can also make it more dynamic. And where it's that view, let's make it dynamic. And for making it dynamic, you know that you just have to bind view dot ref mode. So it will now it's show according to that mode. Okay, let's click on edit. It's showing edit contact, and when I hit the save, it got saved. When I click on edit, it's showing it's not saving the records. I think it's not saving the ln new re save. Okay, it's coming up here, and that's I can do edit. Oh, saving. Might be I click on the wrong one. It's saved. So it's working fine. And the thing is that now you can see that, as I told, that whenever we are implementing a new functionality, at the same moment we also have to test the existing functionality. Just like that, our existing functionality is that whenever we click on the view button, it's also behaving the correctly. So let's click on the view button, and you can see that it's not behaving the correctly in the whenever I click on the view button. So it means that we need to handle the existing functionality too. So what I have to do that. So whenever I click on this view mode, we again have to revert it back to edit. View. That's the thing I need to revert it back, because I changed its ref mode. So let's now when I click on edit, save, it's working fine, and then I click on view, it's opening in the view mode. So that's the thing, means and you can see that this piece of a code is repeated. It's same what we are doing up here. So it's a repeated code. So whenever we have a repeated code, try to always avoid the repeated code. That's it's not a as a means it's not a means always try to remove the repeated code. Let's remove that. Handle ref modes. I just created a handle ref modes, and in that function, in function I need component, and I just need to copy and paste. Copy and paste it here. Set, and just use this function over up here. Sorry, helper, and pass the component. Okay, so it looks like always do a clean code, always remove the repeated code. That always keep in mind that you have to always remove the repeated code. You always do a clean code, means just don't use the repeated code. So let's see, might be something broken. Current target is undefined. So it means that I need to pass the event to, because we are using event here. So we need to pass the event. Let's make it parameterized and pass the event from here. Showing editable mode. I hit cancel, working fine. View mode, cancel, working fine. Edit mode, save, working fine. Again click on it. Let's see, birth rate is correct. Save. Okay, view mode, showing me birth date. Yeah, now it's correct. Means everything is working fine. When I click on here, this and save again. It's working fine. And now we can play with more if you want to. Means suppose if you want to play with more, then you can do that more. Suppose I want to highlight this whenever the record is edited, I want to highlight that row, then we can also do that thing. For highlighting, you have to just do with your basic HTML. That's but yeah, it's okay. It will take once in a that's a different thing. Means yeah, it's taking time. Means I will do that. It's not a matter. Okay, that's the edit form, LDS. That's yeah, that's the thing that present in the LDS. That's okay. And so how we can use that LDS inside our what we have worked on. So we just replace that code with our LDS. So what it's do means, as you can see that once I implement that LDS in our form, it help us to, I did not call any controller. Yeah, you can see that I did not call any Apex controller, not controller, Apex controller. I haven't called any Apex controller. Without calling a Apex controller, I just achieve what I have to do. Just one thing I have to call means delete is not possible with LDS. So for deleting a record, I need to call the Apex controller. Apart from that, apart from that, if we have to do that edit view and create, we can do that via this LDS form. Suppose if we need to create a new record, so for creating a new record, let's create a new record. Just add a button over here, or you know that means just click a button over there and don't pass, means just open the form, this form again, and if this form does not have ID and user fill out the form and hit the save, it will what it will do, it will create a new record. So that's the thing, that means it's okay, you can do that thing. So that's a okay, we have a time, so let's do that thing also. Let's create a new button. Copy the wrong one. Copy from here. Both are LWC and this one are side by side. That's why I'm confused. Okay, I created a new button. Just label it to new, handle new, click. Just add a controller and where is my helper? That, yeah, ref mode. REF mode will be new. What is that? Sorry, record form. Mode, view, edit, and read only. Okay, there is no. So let's make it edit. Don't pass any record over up here. We don't need to pass any record. We just have to show that view mode true. Okay, I click on this new button. It's showing me, yeah, it's showing me without any field record. Let's create a record. Okay, let's select account. And I hit the save. Once I save, what happens? Get error. Let's check what's the errors we are facing. Handle error. I need to capture those errors. Here we are getting error. Line number 51. Let's do that. What's the error? Duplicate record ID. Okay, so let's change the record. Oh, actually it's showing the duplicate here. I haven't checked that. It's showing that we have a duplicate record that this is the trigger that we have created. It shows that the duplicate error. So let's make on the phone and email, on the basis of phone and email, we are checking the duplicate records. So let's remove the phone. Let's make this some changes and save it. Yeah, it got saved. And new record is not popping up here. Oh, shucks, actually it's order by name. That's why. Let's change the controller. Where is my controller? Or a second or a controller. Open this. First name, order by first name, order by last modified date, last modified date. Yes, in descending order. So once I refresh it, let's create a new record. And save it. Reload, a new record get populated. So this is the way that how we create a new record. For creating a new record, as I told you, just don't pass the record ID. Don't pass the record ID over up here. Don't pass the record ID. Where's my form? Second order component. Yeah. Don't pass the record ID. Just pass it blank. So what will we do that? It will create a new record. If you pass the record ID, it will update the existing record. So we can use that property, and you can see that for creating a new record, for viewing a record, for editing a record, we haven't used the any kind of Apex controller. We just in order to only display the record, we use the Apex controller, since we have to display the list of records. So we have to use the Apex controller because there is no such way. So I can use the Apex controller. Without Apex controller, I can't do that. So that's the thing. But apart from that, we can do, means the basic thing we can do without writing a piece of a code. We directly use the fields, field name, and that all those things, and able to create records and all those things. So this is the pretty much related to the LDS, and usually it is they will ask in the question that what is LDS and how we use the LDS. So this is the, you can say them that how we can use the LDS and what the functionality we can achieve via LDS. So this is the thing, and what is the limitation on the LDS, that we can't delete any record from the LDS, and how we use the LDS means if you don't pass the record means it's doing something like absurd. Means if you got the ID, then it will insert that record, update that record. If you don't got the ID, then it will insert the new record. So that is the thing. Okay, so any questions? Any questions? Okay, then.
Suraj,
Hmm.
question. So as a developer, are we going to be doing mostly like a developing codes, like Aura codes, or as a admin use out of box tools?
You have to first use the out of box tool, then you have to move to this.